Hello, everyone, and welcome back once again to Goosebumps Story Time with me, Avery, your friendly Ewitch, the Wicked Witch of the Web. And we're just gonna jump right into it today. We're at chapter 12, so pull up your book if you're reading along with me, or sit back, relax, and we're gonna read a few more chapters today. Again, starting with chapter 12. "I'm warning you, Mr. Blake," Arthur said. "We've got to go back." "No way," Dad protested. "We're not going back. I mean it." The dogs barked and skittered nervously. Arthur shook his head. "I won't go any further. The dogs won't either." Dad shouted, "Mush," to the dogs. They howled and started backing up. "Mush," he cried again. Instead of going forward, the dogs tried to turn around in the snow. "You're upsetting them," Arthur said. "They won't go any further, I told you that. If we turn around now," Arthur added, "we can make it back to the cabin before it gets too late." "What are we going to do, Dad?" I asked. Dad frowned. "Maybe Arthur's right. Something is definitely frightening the dogs. There could be a bear or something nearby." "Not a bear, Mr. Blake," Arthur insisted. "These dogs are spooked, and so am I." He marched away across the snow, heading back toward the musher's cabin. "Arthur," Dad called, "come back here." Arthur didn't turn around. He didn't say a word, he just kept walking. He must be really scared, I thought, and that sent a chill of fear down my back. Still barking excitedly, the dogs pulled the sled around and started following Arthur. Dad peered into the woods. I wish I could see what's out there. "Let's go check it out," I urged. "Whatever it is, it'll probably make a great photo." That usually gets Dad. He glanced back at Arthur, the dogs, and the sled rushing toward the cabin. "No, it's too dangerous. We have no choice. Let's go, kids." We trudged back to the cabin. "Maybe I can persuade Arthur to push on tomorrow," Dad muttered. I didn't say anything, but I had a feeling it wouldn't be easy to get Arthur to climb that snow rise. And maybe Arthur was right, I thought. Those dogs really were scared. It was definitely creepy. Arthur was unhitching the dogs from the sled when we reached the cabin. The dogs had calmed down a lot. I yanked off my backpack and collapsed on top of my sleeping bag. "We might as well eat supper," Dad grumbled. I could tell he was in a terrible mood. "Jordan, why don't you and Nicole go gather some firewood, but be careful." "We will, Dad," Nicole promised. I stood up and started out of the cabin. "Jordan," Dad scolded, "put your knapsack back on. I don't want you going anywhere without it. Understood?" "We're just going for firewood," I protested. "I'm tired of carrying it. We'll only be gone for a few minutes, and anyway, Nicole is wearing hers." "No arguments," Dad snapped. "If you get lost, that food could keep you alive until we find you. You leave this cabin, you wear that backpack. Is that clear?" Boy, was he in a bad mood. "It's clear," I said, strapping on my pack. Nicole and I crunched across the snow to the nearest tree. They lined a snow ridge about half a mile away. We climbed the snow ridge. I made it to the top first. "Nicole, look!" On the other side of the snow ridge, I saw a frozen stream, the first water we'd seen since we'd set out. Nicole and I skittered down the ridge and stared into the icy stream. I tested the ice with my foot. "Don't step on it, Jordan," Nicole cried. "You might fall in." I tapped the ice with the tip of my boot. "It's solid," I told her. "Still," Nicole said, "don't take any chances. Dad will kill you if you have another accident." "I wonder if there are fish swimming under there," I said, staring into the ice. "We should tell Dad about this," Nicole said. "He might want to photograph it." We left the stream to gather dead branches under the trees. We lugged them over the snow ridge and back across the snow to the cabin. "Thanks, kids," Dad said when we burst into the cabin. He took the wood from us and started a fire in the stove. "How about pancakes for supper tonight?" He's in a better mood now, I thought with relief. Nicole told Dad about the frozen stream. "Interesting," Dad said. "I'll go take a look at it after supper." I've got to find something to photograph besides all this ice and snow. The pancakes cheered all of us up, except for Arthur. He ate a lot, but he didn't say much. He appeared jittery. He dropped his fork on the floor, muttering to himself. He picked it up and started eating without wiping it off. When supper was over, Nicole and I helped Dad clean up. We were gathering up the supplies when the dogs started to bark. I saw Arthur freeze. "What's that?" I cried. "What's upset the dogs?" Chapter 13. The dogs yelped and barked. Was someone out there? An animal? A monster? "I'll go check," Arthur said solemnly. He pulled on his coat and wool cap and hurried out of the cabin. Dad grabbed his coat too. "Stay here," he instructed Nicole and me. He followed Arthur. We stared at each other, listening to the yelping dogs. A few seconds later, the barking stopped, and Dad poked his head back into the cabin. "Nothing out there. We don't know what got them upset, but Arthur is calming them down." Dad grabbed his camera. "You two get some sleep, okay? I'm going to check out that stream. I won't be gone long, though." He draped the camera over his fur coat collar, and the cabin door slammed behind him. We heard Dad's footsteps crunching over the snow, then silence. Nicole and I climbed into our sleeping bags. I rolled onto my side, trying to get comfortable. It was after 8 o'clock, but still light outside. The sun filtered through the window of the cabin. The light reminded me of when I was little. Mom used to try to make me take a nap in the afternoon, but I never could sleep in the daytime. I closed my eyes. I opened them. I wasn't sleepy. I turned my head and glanced at Nicole. She lay on her back, her eyes wide open. "I can't sleep," I announced. "Me either," she replied. I squirmed in my sleeping bag. "Where's Arthur?" Nicole asked. "I wonder what's taking him so long." "I guess he's hanging out with the dogs," I said. "I think he likes them better than he likes us." "That's for sure," Nicole agreed. We tossed and turned some more. The sky stayed bright. The light poured in through the cabin window. "I give up," I groaned. "Let's go outside and build a snowman or something." "But Dad said to stay put." "We won't go anywhere. We'll stay by the cabin," I assured her. I crawled out of my sleeping bag and started getting dressed. Nicole sat up. "We shouldn't," she warned. "Come on, what could happen?" She stood up and pulled on her sweater. "If I don't do anything, I'll go stir crazy," she admitted. We bundled up. I pulled open the cabin door. "Jordan, wait," Nicole cried. "You forgot your backpack." "We're just going out the door," I complained. Uh-oh. "Come on, Dad said we have to. He'll be furious if he finds us outside. And he'll be even more furious if you're not wearing your pack." "Oh, all right," I grumbled. Oh, okay, he did put it on. I hoisted the pack over my shoulders, like something's really going to happen to us. We stepped out into the cold. I kicked at the snow. Nicole grabbed my coat sleeve. "Listen," she whispered. We heard the crunch of footsteps behind the cabin. "It's Arthur," I told her. We crept around to the back. It was Arthur. He crouched beside the dog sled, hitching up one of the dogs. 2 others were already tied to the sled. "Arthur," I cried, "what's up?" Startled, he turned to us. He didn't reply, and instead he jumped on the back of the sled. "Mush," he commanded the dogs at the top of his lungs. The dogs leaned forward, tugging hard, and the sled began to slide away. "Arthur, where are you going?" I screamed. "Come back." The sled picked up speed. "Arthur! Arthur!" Nicole and I ran after him, shouting his name, but the sled raced farther and farther away from us. Arthur never turned back. Chapter 14. Nicole and I chased after the sled, watching it grow tinier and tinier. "Arthur, come back! He's got our food," I cried. We couldn't let him get away. We ran as fast as we could, our boots falling deep into the snow. The sled climbed over a tall ridge of snow. "Stop, stop," Nicole screamed. "Please." "We can't keep up with the dogs," I gasped. "We have to try," Nicole cried frantically. "We can't let Arthur leave us here." The sled disappeared over the top of the ridge. We clawed our way up. The snow slid under our feet, and by the time we reached the top, Arthur and the dogs were far, far ahead of us. We watched in horror as they quickly disappeared across the tundra. Exhausted, I collapsed in the snow. "They're getting away," I choked out. "Jordan, get up," Nicole pleaded. "We can't catch him," I moaned. Then Nicole said in a small voice, "Where are we?" I stood up and gazed around. Snow, 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 all around us, nothing but snow. No landmarks, no sign of the cabin. Clouds had covered the sun, the wind picked up, snow began to fall. I had no idea where we were. "Which way is the cabin?" I asked in a shrill voice. "Which way did we come?" We scanned the horizon through the falling snow. I didn't see the cabin anywhere. Nicole tugged at my arm. "The cabin is that way. Let's go." "No!" The snow came down harder and faster, stinging my eyes. I shouted out into the wind. "The cabin's the other way. That's not the way we came." "Look," Nicole yelled, pointing down. "Our tracks. We'll just follow them home." We started down the ridge, following the ruts we'd made in the snow. The wind howled, growing stronger, and we followed our own footprints for a short while. It was hard to see in the falling snow, all white and gray. The whole world, white and gray. Nicole peered at me through the thick curtain of snow. "I can hardly see you," she shouted. We crouched low, searching for our footprints. "They're gone," I cried. The snow had hardly covered them up. Nicole clutched my arm. "Jordan, I'm getting scared." And I was getting scared too, but I didn't tell Nicole. "We'll find the cabin," I assured her. "Don't worry. I bet Dad's looking for us right now." I wish I believed it myself. The wind pelted us with hard, icy snow. I squinted into the wind, nothing but white, white on white, white on gray. "Don't let go of me," I shouted to Nicole. "What?" I said, "Don't let go of me. We could easily lose each other in the storm." She tightened her grip on my arm to show she understood. "I'm so cold," she shouted. "Let's run." We tried to run through the snow, stumbling against the wind. "Dad," we called out, "Dad!" I had no idea where we were going, but I knew we had to go somewhere. "Look," Nicole cried, pointing through the thick snow. "I think I see something." I stared as hard as I could, but I didn't see anything. Nicole pulled me along. "Come on," she shouted. We ran blindly. Suddenly, the ground gave way under our feet. Still holding on to Nicole, I felt myself being sucked down under the snow. Chapter 15. Down we fell, down to the freezing white. The snow rushed up, swirled around us, and buried us. Another crevice, I thought. Another deep pit in the snow, much deeper than the first. We both cried out as we landed, tangled up in each other. "Get off!" Nicole shrieked. "Where are we? Get off!" Feeling dazed, I struggled to my feet. Then I grabbed both of her hands and tugged her up. "Oh no," Nicole groaned. We both stared up to the top, and I could barely make out the gray of the sky high above our heads. And all around us, high walls of snow. Powdery snow that blew down on us. I peered up to the top of the pit. Chunks of snow broke off the icy walls. They made soft thuds as they landed beside us on the snowy pit floor. "We're trapped down here," Nicole wailed. "Dad will never find us, never." I grabbed the shoulders of her coat. A chunk of snow fell off the pit wall and landed on top of my boots. "Try to stay calm," I told her, but my voice trembled as I said it. "Calm? How can I stay calm?" she demanded shrilly. "Dad will find us," I said, but I wasn't sure I believed it. I swallowed hard, trying to fight down my own panic. "Dad!" Nicole screamed. She cupped her hands around her mouth, raised her head toward the sky, and screamed at the top of her lungs, "Dad! Dad!" I clapped a mitten over her mouth. Too late. I heard a low rumbling, and the rumbling became a roar as the snow walls began to crack and crumble down on us. Trembling in horror, I knew what was happening. Nicole had started an avalanche. Chapter 16. The sheets of snow tumbled down on us. I grabbed Nicole. I pushed her against the pit wall. Then I flattened myself against the wall too. The snow roared down, and I pressed myself tight against the wall, and to my shock, the wall gave way. Oh, I let out a startled cry. Nicole and I tumbled through the side of the pit. We stumbled forward into total darkness, and I heard a crash behind us. My heart pounding, I turned in time to see the pit fill up. Snow piled over the opening in the wall, and Nicole and I were sealed in, shut in this dark hole. Our way out was gone. The pit was gone. We crouched in the dark tunnel-like opening, trembling, gasping in fright. "Where are we?" Nicole choked out. "What do we do now?" "I don't know." I grabbed the wall. We seemed to be in the narrow passageway. The walls around us were made of rock instead of snow. My eyes adjusted to the darkness. I could see a dim light at the end of the passageway. "Let's see what's down there," I urged Nicole. We crawled on our hands and knees through the passage toward the light. The passage ended, and we stood up. We found ourselves in a big cave. The top of the cave towered high above our heads. Water trickled slowly down one of the walls. A dim glow came from somewhere near the back. "The light must be coming from outside," Nicole said. "That means there's a way out of here." We crept slowly through the cave. The only sound I could hear was the drip, drip, drip of melting icicles. Soon we'll be out of here, I thought. "Jordan," she whispered, "look." On the floor of the cave, I could make out a footprint. A gigantic footprint. Bigger than the fake one I'd made in the snow that morning. 5 of my shoes could fit inside that footprint. I took a few steps and saw another footprint. Nicole grabbed my arm. "Do you think it's—" She stopped, and I knew what she was thinking. We traced the giant footprints across the cave floor. They led us straight into a shadowy corner in the back and stopped. I glanced up, and Nicole gasped. We both saw it at the same time. The creature, the abominable snowman. He loomed over us. He stood upright like a human covered in brown fur. Black eyes stared out of an ugly face, half human, half gorilla. He wasn't that tall, about a head taller than me, but he seemed huge. His body was thick and powerful, with gigantic feet and fur-covered hands as big as baseball gloves. "We're trapped," Nicole stammered, and she was right. The entrance behind us had been blocked by the avalanche, and there was no way we could slip past this giant creature. No way. The abominable snowman glared down at us. Then it started to move. Chapter 17. My teeth began to chatter. I squeezed my eyes shut and trembled, waiting for the monster to grab us. A second passed, then another. Nothing happened. I opened my eyes. The snowman hadn't moved. Nicole took a step forward. "He's frozen," she cried. I blinked in the dim light. Huh? It was true. The snowman stood frozen in a huge block of clear ice. I touched the ice, and the monster stood inside it like a statue. If he's frozen in ice, I wondered, then what made those giant footprints? Nicole bent down to study the prints. She shuddered again at their huge size. "They lead right to the block of ice," she declared. "The snowman must have made them somehow." "Maybe he walked back here and accidentally froze," I suggested. I touched the back wall of the cave where icy water dripped from above. "Or maybe he goes into the ice to rest," I added, "like Dracula going to sleep in his coffin at dawn." I backed away. It was too frightening, being this close to him. But the monster stayed perfectly still under the thick ice. Nicole leaned close to the ice. "Look at his hands," she cried, "or paws, or whatever." Like the rest of his body, his hands were covered with brown fur. He had thick fingers like a man's. Jutting out of them were long, sharp claws. A chill ran down my spine at the sight of those claws. What did he use them for? Ripping wild animals to pieces? Tearing up people who got in his way? He had powerful legs with shorter claws on his toes. I studied his face. Fur covered his whole head except for a circle of hairless skin around his eyes, nose, and mouth. The skin was a pinkish red. His lips were thick and white and set in a mean-looking grimace. "He's definitely a mammal," Nicole declared. "The fur is a dead giveaway." I rolled my eyes. "This is no time for biology lessons, Nicole. Wait until Dad sees this. He'll go crazy. If he can get a picture of this, he'll be famous." "Yeah," Nicole sighed. "If we can find Dad, if we ever get out of here." "There's got to be a way out," I said. I moved to a side wall and pressed it with my hands, searching for a hole, a chink in the rock, anything. After a few minutes, I found a tiny crack. "Nicole," I cried, "I found something." She raced to my side. I pointed out the crack in the cave wall, but she frowned with disappointment. "That's just a crack," she said. "You don't know everything," I protested. "Maybe there's a secret door here, a hidden passage or something." She sighed. "I guess it's worth a shot." We pressed on the crack. We stuck our fingers into it. We kicked it. I even tried karate chopping it. Nothing. "I hate to break this to you, Jordan," she said, "but I was right, as always. All you found was a crack in the wall." "Well, keep looking," I snarled. "We've got to get out of here." I kept searching. I ran my hands along the wall, my back to the monster. And suddenly, I heard a noise. A loud crack. "Nicole," I cried, "did you find something?" I whirled around. I realized Nicole hadn't made that sound. She stared at the monster in horror. "What?" I asked her. "What's wrong?" I heard another crack. "The ice is cracking," Nicole screamed. "The monster! He's breaking out!" And I'm going to stop there at chapter 18 for now. I am very excited to see what happens next. How this monster is going to act or react, or how they're going to get out, stuck in that crevice. I don't know. Do you guys have any guesses? Anyways, thank you so much for being here for another Goosebumps story time, and I'll be back next week or in a couple weeks to read the rest of the book. Bye, you guys. Stay alive, stay spooky. Have a good night.